Did you know that one of America's biggest car manufacturers is rushing to sell their electric vehicles? And why are their dealerships pushing back against the latest EV models? From slashed sales targets to technical failures, there are many reasons behind this mess, and it's affecting one of the most iconic names in the automotive industry. These are 6 reasons why GM can't sell EVs anymore, and the CEO is panicking. First up at number 6, the Costco Auto Program. Did you ever think you'd see America's biggest car maker teaming up with Costco to sell cars? Well, that's exactly what's happening. GM has partnered with Costco Auto Program, which usually helps sell about 500,000 vehicles yearly from various automakers. But this time it includes mass-market models like the all-electric Equinox and Blazer. Why does this matter? It shows GM's desperation to reach mainstream buyers. Despite producing EVs for years, GM hasn't managed to capture the mass market's interest. The discontinuation of the Bolt EV left them without a mainstream EV to attract buyers. That's where Costco came in, which offers special pricing and incentives to its members. 58% of whom are aged between 42 and 59 and have a significant annual income. This demographic has been out of reach for GM, and they hope Costco can bridge that gap. How does Costco fit into this? Costco isn't a car dealer, but acts as a facilitator for franchise dealers and automakers. By offering discounts and incentives, Costco makes EVs more appealing to its members. Did you know that approximately 3% of all car sales in America are facilitated by Costco? GM's partnership with Costco is less about volume and more about reaching a specific demographic. With their higher income levels and suburban or urban lifestyles, Costco shoppers represent a segment of the population that GM has struggled to connect with through traditional marketing channels. Next at number 5, we have reduced sales targets. Did you know that GM once aimed to sell 1 million EVs in just a few years? That was their ambitious target. But what happened? Reality hit, and those targets have been reportedly revised downward. Now GM's latest goal is between 200,000 and 250,000 EVs this year. Even that seems overly optimistic when you consider they sold just 9,500 EVs in May alone. Why did GM lower its targets? The discontinuation of the Chevrolet Bolt, their best-selling EV, certainly didn't help. GM's reliance on the new Ultium battery technology hasn't paid off as expected, leading to a major reassessment of their EV strategy. So why were GM's targets so high to begin with? They had a lot of confidence in their Ultium battery technology and the overall market trend toward electrification. But the market has cooled. GM had to face the reality that transitioning to electric vehicles is more complex and slower than they had anticipated. What caused this slowdown? Economic factors, changing consumer preferences, and technological challenges have all played a role in slowing down the anticipated growth in EV sales. GM's initial predictions were based on optimistic market conditions that have since changed dramatically. Do you think GM will be able to save its EVs? Let us know in the comments below. At number 4, we have Ultium Failure. Did you know GM put a lot of faith in its new Ultium battery technology? Promising advanced architecture, impressive battery capacity, and fast charging rates? Sounds promising, right? But what happened when these cars hit the road? Real-world use exposed significant issues. Renowned magazines like Edmunds reported numerous problems with GM's new EVs. For instance, a Chevy Blazer EV bought by Edmunds had over 20 errors within 2 months and spent more than 2 weeks in dealerships for repairs. Is it just the Chevy Blazer having these issues? Unfortunately, no. Owners of Cadillac Lyriq and GMC Hummer EVs have also faced software glitches, especially with the infotainment system, failed charging attempts, and other technical problems. How is GM handling this? They've been scrambling to issue updates, but this often means removing features. For example, third-party connectivity features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto have been cut, with GM insisting their in-house system works better, though customers aren't convinced. So what's the impact of these issues? These technical problems have seriously damaged GM's reputation and shaken consumer confidence. When a new technology like the Ultium battery fails to deliver on its promises, it not only impacts sales but also the brand's credibility. How is GM trying to fix this? They've issued numerous updates and revisions, but the damage is already done. The removal of popular features has further alienated customers who expect seamless and integrated technology in their vehicles. Number 3. EVs are still far away from being mainstream. Did you know GM's EV strategy has been nothing short of a mess? In an attempt to attract early adopters, GM neglected its mainstream customers. Instead of developing successors to popular models like the Chevy Bolt, GM focused on high-end, expensive EVs. But what was the result? This decision backfired, leaving no potential mass seller in sight. The discontinuation of the Bolt left a significant gap, and it will take years before GM can re-establish a sustainable EV business model. Mainstream customers aren't interested in paying premium prices for brands like Chevrolet or Cadillac. So why did GM focus on premium EVs? They hoped to generate higher profits. However, what was the outcome? It resulted in a lack of affordable, mass-market options. GM's management underestimated the demand for reasonably priced, reliable EVs that appeal to the average consumer. The focus on luxury models has alienated a significant portion of their customer base, who are looking for practical and economical options. What does this misstep reveal? It shows a fundamental disconnect between GM's strategic decisions and consumer expectations. By ignoring the needs of mainstream buyers, GM missed an opportunity to capture a larger market share. Now they face the challenge of rebuilding trust and developing vehicles that meet the needs of everyday consumers. Number 2. Turning back to hybrids. Did you know that GM was once developing advanced hybrid technology but then abandoned it in favor of full electrification? Why did they do that? They thought full electrification was the future, but this turned out to be a mistake. The transition to EVs is proving long and challenging. Many customers still prefer hybrids for their reliability, practicality, and lower cost. Companies like Toyota, which stuck with hybrid technology, are now reaping the rewards with significant profits. So what is GM doing now? Realizing its mistake, GM is turning back to hybrids to offset its EV losses. Did you know they still produce hybrid options, primarily in China, and plan to bring them to North America? For instance, a plug-in hybrid version of the Chevy Equinox has been introduced in China and could compete with other popular hybrids in the US market. Why are hybrids a better option for some consumers? Hybrid technology offers a more gradual transition for those not yet ready to go fully electric. Hybrids provide the benefits of reduced emissions and improved fuel efficiency, while alleviating concerns about range and charging infrastructure. What does this shift in focus indicate about GM's strategy? GM's renewed focus on hybrids shows they recognize a one-size-fits-all approach to electrification isn't feasible. By offering hybrid options, GM can cater to a broader range of customers and gradually build their confidence in electric technology. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more updates and insights on the EV market. Finally, at number 1, it's because dealers don't want to sell EVs. Did you know one of GM's biggest hurdles is resistance from its dealer network? Why are dealers so reluctant to sell EVs? Firstly, the current market slowdown has made EVs harder to sell, and dealers are struggling with lower markups due to price wars led by Tesla. Secondly, what about the investment? Dealers are required to invest heavily to become eligible to sell EVs, with costs running into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Are many dealers opting out? Yes, they are. For instance, Buick lost half of its dealers when it tried to push them into selling EVs. Why are dealers so hesitant? They prefer not to risk the significant investment required for EV sales when the market is so volatile. So why is dealer resistance such a big deal? Dealers are a crucial link between automakers and consumers. Their reluctance to sell EVs highlights broader challenges within the EV market. What makes dealers hesitant to commit? The high costs of infrastructure upgrades, training, and the uncertainty of returns make them think twice. This resistance from dealers not only hampers GM's sales efforts but also reflects broader market sentiments about the viability and profitability of EVs. So what's the bottom line with GM's EV strategy? GM is facing a multifaceted crisis. How serious is it? From relying on Costco to boost sales, reduced sales targets, and the failure of its Ultium battery technology to dealership resistance and the need to revert to hybrids, GM is navigating a complex and challenging landscape. But are these the only issues? No. There are additional challenges like battery degradation, inadequate charging infrastructure, software glitches, range anxiety, cold weather performance, and high repair costs that make things even tougher. Is GM's journey to electrification smooth sailing? Definitely not. It's proving to be a rocky road, and it remains to be seen how GM will adapt to these challenges moving forward. If you liked this video, don't forget to click on the next one on how GM dealers prefer to quit rather than sell EVs.